Hi everyone. Welcome to my latest series of videos called Complex Things Explained Well, in which I will do my best to give you the tools to make good, sound decisions about your pet's health by describing common pet health conditions the same way that I would describe them to a client in the consult room at my own practice. And before we get into it, please remember to hit that subscribe button and tap that bell notification icon so that you get notifications when new videos are published. And if you'd like to help me decide on which health condition to address next, then please join me on Patreon, because my Patreon supporters do get to vote on which videos I make next. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Hi everyone, welcome to my latest Christmas video. Sir Lancelot and I would first of all like to wish you a happy holiday, a Merry Christmas, and of course a very happy New Year. We had a very, very crazy year at the clinic, very good year, and I hope that your year has been fantastic as well. Please, isn't he adorable? I love this little hat. And honestly, Lancelot is so tolerant. I think we've trained him over the years to wear this little Santa hat. He's been so good. Unfortunately, not all cats are this good. When I tried to put a little pirate hat on him in Halloween, it was a disaster. So, today, with that preamble, today, besides wishing you a very, very happy holiday season. Oh, Lance, why are we so excited? What's this tail doing? Are you excited to do a Christmas video? Yeah, you are. So today, besides wishing you a happy Christmas, I also want to give you some useful information. And I think what we're going to talk about today is holiday stress and cats, what to look out for and how to manage it. But before all that, it's time for gratuitous product placement. You know what makes a good holiday gift? Squishthatcat shirts. It's also fun to put on cats. All right, enough of that. So, cats and holidays. So, to understand how cats deal with the holidays, we need to understand a little bit about cats. First of all, cats are middle of the food chain predators, meaning that they hunt and they're also hunted. So a cat spends all his day on the lookout for prey, for opportunities, and a cat also spends his or her day on the lookout for predators or threats. So the other thing we need to remember that's linked to this is that cats are neophobic. What this means is that cats are afraid of change. They don't like change at all. And of course, that's because anytime there's significant change in their life, it causes a high state of alertness, which is a type of stress because they're on the lookout for new opportunities. It also causes a high state of alertness because they're on the lookout for threats. Something could sneak up on them and eat them. So very, very stressful anytime their environment or their circumstances change. Now, of course, all of us are not strangers to holiday stress. You have changes in your routine. You're often cooking big meals. You might have family visiting or friends. You might have parties. You might be going away and leaving your cat alone with a cat sitter or somebody they're not used to. So lots of changes happening around Christmas, which will stress cats out. And the challenges we see around the holidays and cats are typically related to that stress. Now, how does a cat react to being stressed out? I mean, they'll hide, right? They'll hide. And this can, if a cat hides all day and doesn't eat or drink, this can make them dehydrated. And this can lead to a slew of problems. So the first issue we watch out for is a cat who's just hiding all the time because their life gotten stressful. And they get dehydrated. And that's fine if you have a healthy cat. But if you have a cat with, say, subclinical kidney disease, then what you will get is a cat who gets dehydrated and might go clinical. And sure enough, this week, we've seen a ton of cats who have kidney problems. They're vomiting, they stop eating, they're peeing and drinking more than usual, triggered probably by some change in their environment that made them skip a few meals, get dehydrated, and then you got your kidney disease that was maybe subclinical previously, rearing its ugly head. So, what can you do to address this, to prevent this from happening, to prevent this odd cat behavior from leading to a clinical problem? Great question. What you can do is make sure that when your cat is hiding, or when you have changes in your house, when you have anything that might trigger this kind of reclusive behavior, I mean, we all, I think, know that cats are kind of introverts at heart. So When things get stressful, they hide go to their safe place, which is usually under the bed or under the couch. So what we can do is make sure that their food and water dish is somewhere quiet and peaceful and out of the way, maybe close to where they're hiding, so they don't have to traverse the big scary house with guests just to get the regular feed or drink of water. We can make sure their litter box is somewhere quiet and out of the way, preferably undisturbed from where it normally is. But you might want to add it. If your cat's just hiding in the bedroom under the bed all day because you have guests, you may want to throw a litter box and food and water dish in there so they can make use of the facilities and not get any more stress than they already are. And that might actually save you like a $3,000 trip to the animal emergency clinic on Christmas Eve, because some of you will be making that trip this Christmas. It's an unfortunate fact of life. But a few little things you can do to maybe prevent that. And so the hiding is one big thing. The other manifestation of stress that we often see in cats, and people often complain about around the holidays, is increased peeing or peeing out of the litter box and pooping out of the litter box. And again, this is a stress-triggered health problem that was probably present there previously, and just the stress of the holiday might unmask it. And unfortunately, I had a whole video done about inappropriate urination in cats or peeing out of the litter box. I had 3 backups of it, and despite of that, still managed to lose it. So I was hoping to have it published in time for Christmas and have it as a link on this one, but not going to happen. It'll probably come out sometime after the holidays, but do keep an eye out for it, because I'll really go in depth into inappropriate urination and house soiling problems in cats and how they can be managed and prevented. But this will be the short version. Again, with inappropriate pooping, often that's stress and dehydration. So again, if you make sure your cat always has access to food and water, and if you try to minimize stress on them by having their litter box and all their good little, their toys around and everything in that place where they're hiding, then you may be able to prevent that. With inappropriate urination, most of the time when you have a cat that urinates inappropriately, it's a manifestation of something called feline idiopathic cystitis, which is a stress-triggered health disorder. I'll go into it in much more depth in another video. But what you can do to prevent this from happening is, again, manage your cat's stress. We talked a little bit about environment modification. The other thing you can do is use a product called Feel Away. Feel Away is something you'll hear me talk a lot about on this channel. It's not because I'm being paid to do so. It's because it's a product I really, really believe in and use heavily in my practice. And it's a stress management tool for cats. This is what it looks like. I think Lance gets a lot of sniffs of this because we use this in the clinic. And as you can see, it is a little diffuser, much like a little Glade plug-in. But instead of smelling nice, it aerosolizes a synthetic version of a cat's cheek pheromones. Cats have these little glands on the inside of their cheeks that secrete a pheromone that they use to mark their territory. Little glands down there. And that's why they rub their cheeks on places and people they like. I'm your property now, Lance, but you already knew this. So what this does is it fills up your house basically with a synthetic version of a cat's cheek pheromone. Nobody but cats can detect it. It's completely odorless, but cats smell it and they just relax. It's like a glass of sherry before bed. Chills cats right out. It's a really nice, low-cost, low-intensity intervention you can do at your house. You plug one of these in the room where the cat spends most of their time, and it chills them out, and it can actually prevent these kind of stress-mediated health crises, these like inappropriate urination or defecation episodes, as well as other things. I should probably make a whole video on this at some point, so please keep an eye out for that. But yeah, so using Feel Away in your house around the holidays, I think it's a really good idea, particularly if you have a cat who has a history of inappropriate urination or defecation, or a cat that is just really always stressed out, one of those kitties that like hides every time you have guests over. Really good idea to have one of these set up, preferably in the room where they're hiding. Really, it will really chill them out and prevent a lot of health issues. We talked a little bit about stress and how it can manifest in cats and things you can do to manage the stress in cats. Lancelot is very, very stressed out, you can tell. Right? So the other thing around the holidays that I kind of want to mention is the Christmas tree, of course. Most of us will have a big old pine tree with decorations on it in our house. And I'm gonna leave it to the do-it-yourself blogs and the engineering YouTubers to tell you exactly how to secure your Christmas tree during the holidays. I'm not much of a safety monkey, so I don't personally do it other than have a good solid stand. But what I'm gonna say is that you probably don't need to do anything special for your Christmas tree unless you have a kitten. If you have a kitten in the house, a cat that's like less than a year old, then you should probably secure that Christmas tree extra well, because there's a solid chance there'll be a cat climbing it at some point, and we don't want to see it go tumbling, smashing Christmas ornaments, and waking you up at 3 a.m. So have a look at securing a tree if you have a young cat. Again, if you have a 15-year-old overweight, orange boy, then you probably don't need to worry about the cat climbing the tree. So secure a tree, maybe, if you have a kitten. The other thing to be aware around Christmas trees is, particularly after it's been up for a few days, they'll start shedding needles, and cats will sometimes eat those. Again, not a problem if you have a healthy young cat. They can eat needles and that'll be fine. But some cats can get constipated. Again, they'd have to be predisposed to constipation to begin with. But eating a bunch of pine needles can lead a predisposed cat to getting constipated. So maybe sweep up those needles, especially if your cat shows interest in munching on them. So it's a little trip. And one last tip around Christmas tree decoration, specifically for cats, and actually this is probably the most important one. I don't know why I left it to last. All right, the last thing about decoration is tinsel. Now, as you can see, tinsel is very interesting to cats. It's usually silver. And there we go. Lancelot's already eating it. So, sorry, little buddy. Let me get that off you. Okay, don't do what I'm doing right now. What I'm doing right now is a terrible idea, and I'm doing it only because A, this cat is not going to be anywhere near a Christmas tree, and B, because I want to illustrate a point for you guys on YouTube. Cats love tinsel, but tinsel does not love cats. It can come in silver, it can come in all sorts of colors. If you have a cat, and honestly, I love this decoration. This would be my favorite thing to put on trees as a kid. In Russian, it's called I think Dozhdik, it's like a little rain. My favorite Christmas tree decorations, you can't have this in your house if you have a cat, because cats love this stuff. But probably the worst surgical emergency that a veterinarian has to deal with in their career is called a linear foreign body. That's when something that is linear, like tinsel or dental floss or a string of yarn, gets caught in a cat's digestive tract. And to give you the gruesome details, your intestines, when they push food along, the peristalsis, they kind of squeeze in kind of this rhythmic manner. The little pulses of muscle contraction go down the gut. If you have something linear in your intestine that's anchored on one end, and often it gets anchored in the stomach or under the tongue, the intestines, as they try to pulse down, will bunch up over this linear foreign body, and it'll saw through your intestines. And you'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 30, 40, 50 intestinal perforations in the space of 2 or 3 feet of bowel. And I'm not in the slightest bit exaggerating. You could have dozens and dozens of intestinal perforations within like 24 to 48 hours of eating one of these. This is a surgical nightmare. I've done a number of these. Not every one of them survived. It is a terrible, terrible thing to do. Really tough surgery, even with the absolutely the best surgical team you can wish for. These guys don't always end up happy with a happy ending. Don't have this in your house. It's just not worth it, as much as fun as it is. Find something else to play with your cat with. I'm going to put this off to the side. In Lancelot, you will never see it again. So yeah, please, no tinsel in the house for cats. Linear foreign bodies are bad. Also, please stow your used floss, put it in the garbage, and close the lid. Ending on a light note, avoid tinsel, minimize stress, manage environment, use feel away, avoid tinsel, and secure Christmas tree if you have a kitten. Look, these are all good tips to make your life a little bit easier and safer and reduce your stress. One important thing that I really, really want to emphasize is that it's good to be cautious, it's good to think ahead, but it's important not to get too worked up about things and to enjoy life and to enjoy your pets. So while keeping all those things in mind, please also keep in mind that the holidays are fun. Cats love scratches under the chin, and just enjoy your holiday season. And I want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year once again from Lancelot and me and Pirate and Claudia and all my team here at the clinic. And I just hope you guys have an awesome holiday season.
Well, I hope you found that to be educational and helpful. If you'd like to see more videos like this, I would really appreciate your support, which you can express by joining me on Patreon, where I have a wonderful community of patrons already, or by getting some Squishthatcat merchandise like this t-shirt. I also have mugs and a bunch of other stuff, so please support me. I look forward to making more videos like this, and until next time, have fun with your pets, and I'll see you again.